Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this special event hosted by Steinway & Sons in celebration of 150 years of the Royal Albert Hall. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. My name is Jess Gillam. I'm a saxophonist and broadcaster, and I'm delighted to be with you this evening. It's my absolute pleasure to start off the evening with the unveiling of the Steinway Royal Albert Hall limited edition grand piano. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Royal Albert Hall. It's a pleasure to be able to share this very special evening with you to celebrate the unveiling of this limited edition Steinway Grand Piano. To tell us more about this extraordinary collaboration between two iconic institutions, please welcome to the stage the Chief Executive of the Royal Albert Hall, Mr. Craig Hassel.
Thank you, Jess. Your Excellency, Ambassador Vega and Professor Dr. Vega, welcome. Mr. Ian McCulloch, President of the Royal Albert Hall, and Mr. Ron Losby, President and CEO of Steinway. Welcome, and welcome everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, special guests, patrons, friends, audience members, first-time visitors to the Royal Albert Hall, welcome to this extraordinary place on this extraordinary night where we launch this amazing partnership. This is our 150th birthday, and I'm standing here in front of this amazing, unique designed Steinway & Sons piano. It's remarkable. It's the most fitting moment for our 150th birthday to launch such a partnership. Not only is this an amazingly generous gesture from Steinway & Sons, but it's the first time that we have properly united two extraordinary names synonymous with excellence in music. The Royal Albert Hall is proudly an independent charity. We are free of government funding, happily, and we survive on our merits and with partnerships such as this. We present a range of concerts throughout the year, from classical to rock and pop to circus, as well as some boxing and a bit of tennis from time to time as well. But it's fair to say that since 1871, when we opened, Steinway pianos have been played on, well, actually not this stage, on that stage, there below the organ. And tonight is a great way to cement that partnership. It's known to all of us that we've been through the most devastating time, and the last 18 months for our industry and industries like ours around the world has been just devastating. And I must say, events like tonight just feel as though we are starting to move in a positive direction. The fact that we're here in real life and we're about to hear live music unamplified in this beautiful hall, I think feels a really positive sign of the future ahead of us. Now, the work with Steinway is tremendously important for us. I should point out that for every one of these pianos, these beautiful pianos, which is sold, the Royal Albert Hall will receive £30,000 from every piano from Steinway & Sons. This is amazing, and that support will directly go to our job to support young people and music in Britain and from soloists from around the world. So as I said, this building has hosted Steinway for, well, centuries, and tonight we're cementing that with this amazing partnership. I must thank in advance our artists this evening, Igor Levitt and Aisha Ijiri, who have actually they're going to make history tonight by being the first pianists to play a Steinway Royal Albert Hall piano in the Royal Albert Hall. So you're all here as part of history. This will go down in our archive as one of those moments in the history of the Royal Albert Hall and the history of music. But this partnership goes further than just tonight's recital. It is the start of a much longer term collaboration between the Royal Albert Hall and Steinway & Sons, and I'm really thrilled about that. Ron and I were discussing this earlier. This is not a flash-in-the-pan association, it's the start of a really important partnership. And in fact, we are launching tonight the Steinway series, which will happen here in the Royal Albert Hall in November. And there's a whisper of even things happening beyond that involving Steinway & Sons and the Royal Albert Hall. So that's very exciting, I'm thrilled about that. So I want to thank you all for being here for this historic moment in our history. And to those of you who've already bought one of these, I understand that one or two have been sold in advance of this evening. Thank you, and you're very lucky. And if you're here tonight and you're in the market for a Steinway, well, I think they only come in black. Is that right? I'm not sure. I mean, these are exquisite pieces of equipment. Incredible. I should mention, though, we, the Royal Albert Hall, we're so grateful to Steinway & Sons. We are a charity, and we rely on this kind of benevolence for our existence, to be honest. So we rely on patrons, supporters, corporate supporters, individuals, philanthropists, and we're grateful to all of those of you who are here this evening, and those of you who are here but don't know you are yet, if you know what I mean. So this may be your first time experiencing the Royal Albert Hall, but unfortunately, we know who you are, and we will track you all down. I'm sorry. It's an Australian thing. I'm sorry. But thank you in advance for your support. And finally, I would love to thank Jess Gillum, our wonderful MC. Now, for those of you who don't come here regularly, you won't know that Jess Gillum is effectively a child of the Royal Albert Hall. I don't want to embarrass you, Jess. Jess has performed here in her own right, in the proms, in concerts, in launches, and very many things. She's an absolute national treasure. I was going to say, actually, that my only regret is that, so Jess is a world-renowned saxophonist, and I just felt a bit awkward that we're launching a piano. And if only Steinway made saxophones, then you'd be hearing Jess play tonight. But then I was told by Guido that actually Steinway distributes saxophones, so it's not too late. And I think when we're upstairs in the gallery, if you would make the right noises, Jess may walk off tonight with an amazing saxophone. So, let's just see how we go. But for my final thank you, of course, is to Guido and to Ron, of course, and Steinway & Sons for having the forethought to come to us with this amazing idea. And here we are tonight, and it's actually happening. And we're launching the Royal Albert Hall Steinway & Sons piano. So thank you all for coming. I'm tremendously grateful, and I'll see you upstairs for a drink. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Craig. Well, behind me here in all its glory is the new piano, and that is, after all, what has brought us all here together tonight in a venue that is dear to so many of us. And to be reunited together, as Craig mentions, makes this evening even more special. But I'm sure you'd all like to hear more about the instrument itself. So to tell us more, please welcome the CEO of Steinway & Sons, Mr. Ron Losby.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jess. It is really a remarkable evening for us at Steinway & Sons to be partnered with such an iconic institution. We started business here in England in 1875, which was about, I think, 4 years later than what the hall started as. And this is a very special opportunity for us because we don't do this very often. This is the third time in Steinway's history that we have actually partnered with an institution such as the Royal Albert Hall to have an iconic limited edition piano that is for the benefit of the hall and also for the people that purchase the instruments. So we're really just very delighted to be here. And this is a very special piano. I hope that everyone can see the various different architectural aspects of it. And if you look at this beautiful hall, there are so many motives that we could have chosen. And I think our artisans did exactly what they should have done by depicting inside and outside. For the individuals that can see this beautiful lid, we see the outside of the Royal Albert Hall. So distinctive, so beautiful, and that is etched into the finish, the beautiful lustered finish that we have here. If you can see the legs, the columns that we have here inside this beautiful auditorium are etched into each one of the legs. And then, of course, on the music desk, I think it needs no introduction as to what part of Albert Hall it is, but you can see that this is just a labor of love for our craftsmen to have been able to produce such a lovely, lovely instrument. We are only producing 8 of these instruments. This is the only concert grand that we will produce, and we have 7 other what we call Model Bs, which are 7-foot, more the home-size pianos. The remarkable thing about each one of these pianos is that it comes with the latest high-definition technology. You may not see that this is a high-tech instrument, but it is our stereo technology, and which means that it can record and it can play back, and very soon it will be able to connect to pianos all over the world. It's a very exciting opportunity for Steinway, a 19th century company being sort of pulled into the 21st century. The other aspect of this instrument that will be very, very special is the concert that you will hear tonight will in fact be recorded on the stereo technology, and only the owners of that particular edition of pianos will be able to have that concert in perpetuity in their home. So we're very, very excited about the evening that we have. And I'd like to certainly invite everybody upstairs at the end of this so they can get a first-hand, close-up look of this beautiful instrument, because it's difficult from afar to see how lovely it is.
And Mr. Losby, perhaps you could tell us about how the collaboration between Steinway and the Royal Albert Hall came about.
Well, you know, it came about, and I don't know why it took us so long, frankly. It's kind of kind of embarrassing when you think about it, but it came about because we've gone through a shared history of that time where we do one thing that keeps us connected together, and that's make music. And as Craig said, we've had Steinway pianos on the stages here since our inception, basically. And we know that after this pandemic, and even before the pandemic, the music and the arts needs to have very generous supporters to create this wonderful human experience that we experience here, live music in a hall. And this is just a small step that we can take as a company to collaborate with an institution that frankly has a brand equity that is as high and higher than Steinway & Sons, in order to perpetuate this wonderful opportunity of making live music. So it started basically by just saying, how can we help? And what can we do? And the recital series that we're going to be starting in November is something that I hope endures for many, many years to come.
And as Mr. Craig Hassel mentioned, you will be donating proceeds from the sale of these pianos directly to the hall.
Every piano that is purchased, as Craig mentioned, £30,000 will be donated to the Royal Albert Hall. And that money, as he said, will help to perpetuate the wonderful programming that goes on at this historic institution.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening, Mr. Losby. It is an incredible privilege to see this craftsmanship up close, and as Mr. Losby mentioned, you will all have the chance to see it at the reception afterwards, and I do hope you manage to take a closer look. But maybe most importantly, you might like to hear the famous sound of the piano. We are going to be treated to 2 wonderful performances this evening. The first being by Aisa Ijiri. She's going to play a work by Schumann. It's Carnival Scenes from Vienna, Opus 26. The 5 movements of this work suggest the character of a sonata, but Schumann's subtitles reveal the programmatic fantasy imagery of Carnival in Vienna. Please give a warm welcome to the stage to Aisa Ijiri. A huge thank you to Isa Ijiri, who has given the first ever performance on this Steinway limited edition piano. I'm sure this is a moment we will all remember, and as Craig mentioned, the hall will remember forever. Well, we are going to be treated to another musical performance this evening, and we are going to hear from a pianist described by the New Yorker as a pianist like no other. Please welcome to the stage Steinway artist Igor Levit.
It's much nicer to play with flowers than without. Welcome to Royal Albert Hall. Didn't see that one coming. Have you got a program? Aha! And I don't have a microphone. You just heard Beethoven's Piano Sonata number 27 in E minor, a rather wonderful piece. And the next two pieces you're going to hear, at least one of them, everybody, all of you knows. It is one of the very great songs, I believe, ever written, in the most beautiful version by the great Bill Evans. Has been a long day and I just got a bouquet of flowers. It's the great song Danny Boy. And the last piece I'm going to play was written, let me stand up, was written by a very, very unique, great pianist, jazz pianist, composer, a true mensch, the American Fred Hirsch. And a couple of years ago, Fred composed one of those really second to none pieces. And it has the very simple and beautiful title, Valentine. That's it. So, Danny Boy and Fred Hirsch, Valentine.
A breathtaking performance from Igor Levit. You've now had the chance to hear the whole tonal scope of this piano, and I'm sure it would fit nicely into any one of your homes. And if only you could hear either Isa or Igor play it, I'm sure you would take them too. But thank you so much for joining us this evening for this incredibly momentous occasion and special event. It has been a real honour to share it with you all, and we hope to see you at the drinks reception where you can take a look at the piano up close. And thank you so much. Good night.